Hey ladies! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be talking to you today. Okay, so for any of you who don't know me, my name is Mara Riopel, and I am a success and breakthrough coach, and I help ambitious moms find six-figure success and time for life. So what that means to most of us is freedom on some level, right? Choices. And so that's usually with our time, with our money, and with literally what we choose to do on a daily basis. And so today, really what I wanted to talk to you about is how to create six-figure success and time for your life by design, because it doesn't happen by default. I promise you that. So for any of you who are just getting started in business and you're kind of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where all the things. I want to encourage you to do this in these steps. I'm going to give you 3 things to do. So number one thing that I'm known for is what I call finding your fire, which is getting really clear on what it is that you want in your life and business. So what I mean by that is we get so caught up in society with all the shoulds, and you've probably heard this before, but it's like, stop shoulding all over yourself. And what happens when we get into online business is you start to listen to advice from all different directions. Just like if you were listening to parenting advice from all different directions, or life advice from all different directions, career advice, whatever it is. So the same thing happens when you get into online biz. And a common path that people take is they download a bunch of freebies. They start by Googling something, they get into social media, they download a bunch of freebies, they start taking courses and programs. And what I tend to see with my clients is a year or two in, they kind of realize, like, they come up for air and they're like, hey, I don't even remember what I'm doing here anymore. You know what I mean? I'm working all the time. I don't have time for my kids. I don't feel like I have time for my partner. I feel like I'm stressed and not doing a good job of anything. So if that's where you're at and you've been at this for a little bit and you feel like you're spinning, then just take a breath. It's okay. We've got you. So here's what I'm going to say. Find your fire first means get super clear on what it is that you want. And after I had my second kid, I am 30 weeks pregnant with baby number 4. So this summit is like, but after I had my second son, I went through this period where I just knew that going back to corporate was going to kill me. So I was 6-figure successful, but totally burnt out and totally unfulfilled in my sales role. And I had actually been offered a really good sales management job, but when you just get that gut feeling like it's not the right thing. And so I had to go and fight against everyone else's advice around me. They thought I was nuts for giving this up. And long story short, I went to see a counselor and I was like, hey, I need like a third party view or some advice that's impartial, somebody that's not in my day-to-day life to, help me figure this out. Like, why is it that I'm not going back to this job? And so after this first hour with her, and I didn't even really like her, to be honest with you, like we didn't click, but she did give me this one exercise that pretty much changed my life. So I got to hand that to her. She said, on your way home today, before you get home to like the noise and the busyness of the kids and whatever, I want you to pull over somewhere and grab a piece of paper. And on one side, I want you to write out what it is that you actually want, not in terms of like materialistic things, because I was very like masculine energy, go, 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 strive, achieve, because that was my career. And I grew up with 5 brothers. I'm the only girl. And so I always was trying to prove that I could do what the boys could do. And I ended up, becoming successful at something that I hated. So there you go. Anyway, so she said, write down all the things you want in terms of how you want to feel, who you want to become, how you want your kids to see you down the road, just like how you want to feel in your body and in your life. And then she said, and then turn the page over or go get a new page and write, I should, ... And then she said, just keep saying that little phrase out loud to yourself over and over and over and over. Don't attach any kind of preconceived anything with it. And just write, I should, and see what comes out. So I did. I stopped at a picnic table. I remember it was like a super sunny afternoon on my way home. And I wrote out all the things I wanted. And it was like, I want to be free. I want to empower other women. I want to have coffee in the morning and not be in a rush. I want to sit in my house coat and listen to the birds. Like I had all these like weird things that I wanted to be or feel. I wanted to be successful in my own right. I mean, I'm not going to give you all the things because each one of us has something totally different in terms of what it is that we really want. And that's where you'll hear like, what's your core desires? And half the time we're at this place where we're like, I don't even know what I like anymore, because you've gone down this road, and this might be where you are right now, where you don't even remember who you are or what you like. That's where I was. I didn't even remember what I liked anymore. So it took a while to like kind of pull all that stuff out of me, but I wrote all the things that I wanted. Like I wanted to do crosswords. There was like simple things, really easy things that I wanted, as well as heavy things. And then on the other side, I wrote I should, and then I started brain dumping out all the things that I should. I should be grateful for this opportunity because I had this great sales role to go back to, and it was 6 figures, 3 days a week. Like it was everything that most people would have killed for. So I should be grateful. I should be like, I should settle. I should be happy with the opportunity I've been given because so many other people would kill to be in my shoes. Like, you know, that kind of language was coming out. I should be more responsible. I should stick to something for once. I should not give up on something I've worked so hard to get to in terms of like achievement in my career and blah, 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 blah. I should not want to walk away. I should, you know, there was all these shoulds that came out. So you get the picture. I'm rambling. I'm pregnant, so bear with me. But here's the thing, is at the end of the day, if you go and do this exercise, I have a free workbook. Actually, it's called the Find Your Fire workbook, and it walks you through this exact exercise. It's on my website if you want to go grab it. But literally at the end of the day, if you do this exercise, you'll realize that when you're reading the I want side, it feels like your heart is kind of opening up. And when you read the I should side, you kind of feel like you're turtle shelling in. It's almost like it's like this weird physical reaction that actually happens when you're doing it. And what happens is the I wants are everything that you actually want or want to go after. And the I shoulds are all the other voices in your life. And whether they're well-intentioned and well-meaning or not, they're probably a lot of them are from people who actually truly do love you. But at the end of the day, the voices that you're hearing in all the I shoulds are putting all this pressure on you to do all these things that have nothing to do with what you actually want in your life. And this translates perfectly over into business as well. If you've been in business for a bit, you've been I shoulding all over myself again in business too. But you want to get super clear on what it is that you want so that you can go after it relentlessly. Because we're ambitious moms and we don't have time to be messing around, right? We have to figure out what it is that we want to focus on and go after it, because we can't just throw spaghetti against the wall for the next 10 years because we got a lot of things going on. I always say ambitious moms have different priorities and different problems because we really do have different things on our plate. So go get clear on your fire first. I say find your fire first. Find your fire to build your empire. So that's, now we're getting into the business side. And then that's your first step. And I don't care if you're just starting out or if you've been in business for 5 years, this is an exercise that everyone should go through. It helps you get super clear on who you want to serve, the problem you want to solve, who you want to work with, like all these things, what you really want to go do. And everybody needs to come back to that clarity over and over again. It's not like you just decide and do the worksheet one day and then you're good for the next 20 years. You know what I mean? Like you got to re-clarify for yourself over and over throughout your business. So make sure that you do something like that, even if it's just like with a quick piece of paper after you get off this training video. Go and do this exercise with no distractions, and I promise you the 10 minutes will be worth millions. It's gold, ladies. Okay, so number 1, go find your fire. Why? Because you want to know what you want so that you can go after it relentlessly. Number 2, I'm going to talk about your schedule, because when we talk about 6-figure success and time for your life, it happens by design, not by default. If you go into this and just say, I'll figure it out, which most of us do when we start, you will not figure it out. You will in fact be running all over the place with a chicken with your head cut off, and you will feel like you're doing a crap job in all areas of your life, including parenting, including your marriage, including your business. So I highly suggest that you figure out when you're doing your I wants, you pull some of that inspiration over into, what do I want my day to look like? What do I want my schedule to be like? How many days a week do I want to take client calls? How many times a week do I want to be supporting people? How many days a week do I want to just leave open for creativity? How much self-care do I need? So self-care looks very different to everybody. Some people like to go get massages and pedicures. Some people like to sit in the backyard and have a coffee and listen to the birds in the morning and just let some thoughts flow, right? Like we all need different things. So what is it that you want in your day or in your week? And that's how you build out your schedule. When we reverse engineer this, instead of just like signing a whole bunch of clients and then trying to wing it all over the place, you don't have time to serve clients and market your business and be a mom and be a wife and have time for yourself and have a life with your friends. Like you just don't have time if you wing it. So I'm not saying like live by your schedule, you know, live and die by that calendar. I'm just saying like start to really map out what you want your life and business to look like, because that's how you fit your business into your life, not the other way around. If you wanted to just work all the time, then you could just go back to corporate and there's no risk in it, right? You can just work to the bone, work yourself to the bone. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's number 2. So first you find your fire, figure out what you want instead of what you think you should want, or when you should work, or who you should serve, how you should serve them. Figure out how you want to work with people. What lights you up? Who do you love working with? Who gives you that like boost of energy when you get off the conversation or a call with them? And if you haven't landed clients yet, just think about the kind of conversations you love to have at a barbecue or a social event that you go to. Who are the people that really like you get into like a super deep conversation very quickly and you're just like kindred spirits and you just hit it off and you just know that you're both getting something amazing from the conversation? Let those kinds of things lead you towards who you want to work with, because you get to choose. This is the wild, wild west, which is online business, and there are no rules here. So you get to pick who you want to work with and how you want to do this business. Okay, so number 1, find your fire. Can you tell I like to talk about finding your fire? Number 2, make sure you're setting up your schedule by design, not by default. And number 3, hire help. This is the biggest mistake that I see people making in their lives, honestly. When you are a mom, you have so much on your plate as it is. So I'm going to talk about 2 places that you want to hire help: at home and in your business. And I would say for me, hiring help at home first was the best thing I ever did for myself, because you don't realize how much quality time you get back with your husband and with your kids when you have somebody else that's doing your laundry and washing your floors and cleaning your bathrooms and doing some meal prep. So you could do childcare or you can do cleaning and meal prep and household stuff. I do all in one. I have a nanny, and it literally, I would say it's like a marriage saver, honestly, because when we're done dinner at night, like we literally, something that's really important to us as a family is not having to wake our kids up, not having to, figure out a mad scramble if one of them's sick, and not sending them somewhere else during the day. And that was a personal choice that we made when we had kids, and everybody gets to want whatever they want. So figure out what you want for your life and your kids. There's no judgment here for people that like to drop their kids off at daycare. That's awesome if that's your thing. I wanted my kids to be at home all like their whole lives other than at school. So they have been, and it's been awesome. So I'm upstairs working in my home office. This is like our bonus room above our garage. But I can still hear what's going on. Like I just heard the garage go, which means the kids just got off the bus and they're just getting home right now. So my nanny went to meet them at the bus. So probably you're going to see 1 or 2 of them come in here in a minute. I have 2 that are in school, one little one that's 3, and then another one that's coming in 2 months. But this one's a girl. We have 3 boys and now I have a girl coming. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. Hire help even before you can afford it. You deserve it. Go for it. If you are a high achiever and you know that you are going to be successful no matter what, and there's no quit in you, then you will figure this out no matter how long it takes. So go hire help, whether you need help with childcare or you need help cleaning the house or you want both, doesn't matter. You hire that thing that you want. Then hire help in your business. A VA can take a ton of stuff off your plate. You have to kind of get a feel for where you're going in your business first, but then so many pieces of your business you can delegate out to somebody else, especially things like reaching out and touching base with people when you're reaching out to do market research in the DMs, things like that. I'm not going to get into all the business strategies that I teach, but one major mindset shift that I help women make is going from self-employed entrepreneur to the CEO of your business. And CEOs don't take things personally. They set up systems and they execute, right? And that's not to say that you don't retain like solid connection with people through that. There's lots of ways to retain connection. But like, for example, if I want to go talk to 30 people in 30 days, which is something that I teach, I have a script that's very much my voice, and then my VA does the initial reach out. So she's like the top of that funnel. And then as soon as somebody responds, then I jump in with a voice note, like literally me in the DMs. So, but I don't take it personally because I don't even know how many people she's reaching out to every day. And so I don't feel like people are rejecting me because I don't even know about it. Do you know what I mean? So the ones that are talking to me, then I jump in and talk to them. So that's like such a small example, but like there are pieces of this business that you are not going to enjoy or not going to like, and you can just hire them out. I don't really like doing like the day-to-day detailed work a lot of the times. So I have a VA that like kind of handles that stuff. It's like I'm like the big picture, big energy, big vision. Here's what we're going to do next, kind of a person. And then she's like the how and the details. So I love that. I've recently hired somebody to start transcribing a lot of like my videos and stuff like that, and then she'll put it into copy, and then I go in and just edit it, and then my VA adds a graphic, and then I approve it before it goes out. And then so now I have like a super consistent presence on social media that is totally me still, but I'm getting other people to help me with it because I have baby number 4 coming. So I'm strategically setting it up so that I'll be consistent even when I can't be. Does that make sense? Okay, so just to recap. Oh, and then of course we couldn't talk about hiring out help without talking about getting a mentor or a coach. So I have personally invested in a ton of courses and programs where I was a number, just like a number in the program. And I would highly recommend, if you are somebody who needs some personalized feedback and support, that you stop expecting that personalized feedback and support from a group program that doesn't have that component built in, or that doesn't have the guru or the leader giving it themselves. I have done many programs where I spent a shit ton of money and didn't get the results I wanted. That being said, often we get things out of those programs that we didn't expect, even if it wasn't the results we were looking for. We still might have learned how not to do something, or how not to show up, or how not to treat clients, or how not to sell an empty promise. Or, and this is not a complaint, this is like, what did you actually take away from every single thing that you've done? Because a lot of the time we've learned a bit and a piece, and now it's time to put all the pieces of the puzzle back together and then move forward. I think I'm on a bit of a tangent, but you probably are picking up what I'm putting down. So don't ever feel like investments are a waste of time, but just make sure that if you are looking for a specific result, that that person that is teaching that is focused on that that type of result. Because a lot of the time it's just like generic, I don't know how to explain it, but I think most of you understand what I'm saying. The marketing world is based on make money today, 30 million in 30 days. And you're like, that's not realistic. How about if we talk about what actually moves the needle in a business, and how we get clear first on what we have to do and put it into doable, actionable steps that we do one at a time before we add all this extra fancy bells and whistles crap on top of it. We don't even know if it's working yet. So keep it super simple. Make your marketing simple. Ambitious moms need to keep it simple so that we can stay consistent, so that we have consistent results. Because at the end of the day, we're just out here trying to make money and help people. Okay, so let me recap really quick. Hopefully this is helpful. Probably on a lot of tangents, but that's just me. Number 1, find your fire first, because that is your North Star. That is the thing that will light the way to your success. You have to know what you really want and go after it. Number 2, design your schedule the way you want it instead of allowing it to happen by default, because absolutely your business will take over your life if you let it. And then you're stressed out, and then it sucks. And then what's the point? You're doing the opposite of what you tried to do, which was to have a fun life and freedom by running your own show, right? And then number 3 is hire the help you need. Hire the help you need at home first, if you're trying to choose between the two, because you can always work a little harder to get like your social media and stuff like that done. Hire help at home first so that you have the brain capacity and power to use, and also so that you have the free time with your family when you are not working, because the laundry and cleaning your toilets and doing all that kind of stuff, that can be hired out to somebody else very easily, and you can use that time to actually enjoy your husband and your family. So please take that advice. Hire help in your house. Childcare, cleaning, household stuff, whichever one will serve you the best. And don't feel like you're spoiled or something just because somebody else cleans your toilets. Don't feel like that. That is not, just stop thinking that. That's an old school thing. That's our parents' generation and the ones before them. It is all about where we choose to spend our time, and you get to choose that. And then number 3.4 or 3.5, whatever, hire help in your home, and then hire help in your business. So you can get your VA and stuff like that going, but also hire the mentorship that you actually need for the point you're at in your business. So also look at somebody else's marketing when you're going to hire them, and just say, okay, am I at a place where this person is actually going to be able to help me or not? Because a lot of the time we'll jump into programs and we're not where we need to be to actually use that program to our advantage. Like if you're going to scale a group program, you probably want to have a proven offer first, for example. And I made that mistake before. I didn't have a proven offer, and I jumped into a year-long high ticket program. So I have all this knowledge and information about how to do that, but I didn't have the beginning basic building blocks laid out for my business. So that program didn't work for me, right? But I take ownership of that because I was not in the place that I needed to be when I joined it. So hopefully that was helpful. I suggest you start with Finding Your Fire. I have my workbook on it's free, it's a download, right on my website, marariapel.com. And it's just called the Find Your Fire workbook. And if you're interested in that, that's a great place to start. You can reach out to me anytime. I don't bite, I promise, in the DMs if you would like to jump in and ask me any questions. Or follow me on Instagram and just send me a quick hello. I saw you on the Pregnant CEO Summit. I would love to just connect with you. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. My Ambitious Academy doors are opening right away here. So if you want, go to my Instagram and check it out. And it's for anyone who's looking to attract and convert ideal clients on repeat. It's a 6-month group program that also has a huge one-on-one component for customized feedback. So if you're interested, I don't know where you're at in business right now, but if you are somewhere where you're like, Kate, I'm ready to sign clients consistently. I want to start hosting my own events. I want to build my audience. I want to build my brand authority. You know, I want to show up and be really consistent. I want systems to support me. And I don't mean fancy like technology systems. I just mean like, what are the action steps that you take on a consistent basis so that you get consistent results? So if you're interested in that type of help, then reach out to me and just let me know where you're at in your biz. And I'll tell you honestly if I can help you or not. Hopefully that was helpful, ladies. Have a great summit and we will talk to you later. Cheers.